How's it
Okay.
going?
Okay, so you
Good
know
morning.
the memory thing that we had to write? The memory.
Memoir?
So I edited it, and when I went to go turn it back in, like I had it inside the thing, the assignment closed.
Ay, yeah.
I was gonna share it with you.
Okay.
Hold on, Zoom.
Okay. Um, we can fix that real fast. Let's do this though first, okay? So I'm gonna send you guys in the chat. Everybody here. That's a joke, by the way. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna take attendance. If you guys can get into the chat, and then open it, and then let me just give you directions for this chat. Okay, so first of all, oh, Maddie's here. How's everybody doing? You guys good? We ready? We rocking it.
I turned in my memoir at like 11:45 last night.
Oh my gosh, stop that. Stop the madness, you guys. You guys are crazy.
What
Don't
can I say? I like to live on the edge. Nah.
don't be procrastinators. Be terminators. Okay, so what we have here, okay, if you guys can open up. Maddie, did you get the link in the chat? Okay, let me give that to you guys again because I think it depends on when you log in or sign into. You have it now? Okay, so take out your notebooks or you know, our beautiful student packets. Okay, you should have some memorable quotes going on. Yeah. Cha-ching. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now these are specific quotes. Okay, so don't be throwing in a number like 66, page 66. It says from 102 to 154. Okay, select a quote. As you do this, you guys go ahead and put in your email address, your first name, your last name first, and then your first name. And then page number. Only write the number, okay? I cannot express. Only write the number because I'm gonna reorganize it in numerical order after you're done, and then this is gonna be kind of like a study guide for you guys, okay? So when you, after you're done with the memorable quote, just choose one, choose your favorite, okay? That explanation should be maybe like one long sentence or two sentences, okay? No more than two sentences, just to explain. Okay, I'm gonna take attendance and be quiet. Okay, and if you're done, let's go ahead, for right now, just go ahead and transition into your Canvas, and then we'll start at module 1.3, okay? Okay, so go ahead in the chat. I've given you guys access to the responses. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up. Um, I'm gonna open up the breakout rooms so that you guys can share out in smaller groups. Okay. You're gonna state your memorable quote. So, for example, like, you know, on page 113, so and so states this, right? And then I found this quote to be important or significant because blah, blah, blah. And kind of talk about the context of it, right? We read some kind of crazy things about Grandma Smith passing, and then we met Irma. Okay, do we like Irma? Ahi, do we like Irma? Okay. Are we almost done? How are we doing? Okay, so you guys can go ahead and get onto the period 1 memorable quotes. Pretty good. Okay. All right, so, oh, Kikama, can you do me a favor and change your name to your first and last name? Sorry, I just emailed you saying that you weren't in class, but you totally are there. My bad. Okay, are we done now? Do we have everybody? Still waiting on a couple people. Waiting on like 3 people to finish up their memorable quote. So, as you guys are waiting, there's like 11 of you guys who are done. Okay, go ahead and open up your letter, your resilience letter. Okay, I'll be grading that after our class is done. But what we want to do is when we get into our breakout groups, we're going to do 2 things. We're going to talk about our memorable quote. Okay, that's first. And then we're going to just quickly talk about your resilience letter. You're going to talk about who you chose to write that letter to and why. Okay, we good? We good on those 2? I'm going to break you guys up into groups. I think there's 3 of you guys. Go ahead and finish up so that we can do this. Okay, you guys ready? Ready to talk about things?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead quickly.
First.
When you get into your spreadsheet, find your name, okay, and then it should all be in order, right? So what you want to do is
All
whoever
right.
name pops up first, you go first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's the easiest way. I forgot to say.
Are we talking about the memorable quote and the resilience letter?
Yeah. So just share all one time. Okay.
Okay.
You're first.
Hi guys. So we wanna go into that spreadsheet with everybody's memorable quote in there. So go find your name, and then whoever goes first, whoever's name pops up first because of the page number, you go in that order. All right. So you share out your memorable quote, and then you share out your resilience letter as far as like who you wrote to and why. Okay.
What if we have the same quote?
Maybe expand on the why.
Oh, okay.
Letter.
Oh, the letter. Yeah.
I never finished it.
Can we do this? So did you guys get into the spreadsheet and then you looked for your name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
On what?
on the spreadsheet, Anela. Whoever's name shows up first from the top, right? You go first, since that would be the chronological order. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So who would go first? Looks like
Me.
okay, you. So Kayla, you're gonna share out your memorable quote and why, and then just who you wrote your resilience letter to and why. Okay.
She did already.
Oh, you guys did?
And now it's Tasia's
Mhm.
turn.
Okay, go Tasia. Gee, I just interrupt.
My quote is on page 144. She added that you should never hate anyone, even your worst enemy. I picked this quote. It's from Jeanette's mother because Jeanette was being bullied at the time, and she didn't want to confess that she was being bullied. So she asked her mom for advice, and okay. So she asked her mom for advice. So in return, her mom said that quote, which means that you can't judge someone because of the things they do, since there's always a reason for everything.
Yeah, her mom is kind of
And
interesting. Like, she's so wise and yet she's kind of kooky, you know? Okay, all right. I'm going someplace else.
Hey, what do we do now?
Share out your resilience letter.
okay. So I haven't quite finished it, but I'm writing it to Jeanette.
Oh wait, I have it. It was about the dad. When dad goes crazy, we might all have to wait, hold up. No, wrong one. Okay, so my quote was, when dad goes crazy, we all have our own ways of shutting down and closing off. And that's what we did that night. So that shows, like, you know, when he comes home, like when he comes home drunk or whatever, it shows like how they put up with his like stuff, you know.
His antics.
Yeah, his antics, because he comes home and he's all drunk and he's like yelling and he's going crazy, but you know, they just have to deal with it, you know. The kids.
It's sad. It's ugly, yeah?
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to go through that. Okay?
You know, there's a movie too.
What is that? There's a movie. Yeah, there is a movie. Okay, who's next?
I'll go next. Okay, so my quote was on page 114. It was, on Christmas morning, Mom took us down to a gas station that sold Christmas trees. She selected a tall, dark, but slightly dried out Douglas fir. I think that this was important because it shows that Rosemary is trying to make a difference in her family and not trying to let them live how they lived their whole life.
Very good. Are you guys done? Everybody done? Or
No, Kaluka still has to go.
My quote is on page 144. And it said, Irma can't let go of her misery, Mom said. It's all she knows. She added that you should never hate anyone, even your worst enemies. So, to me, I guess this is where she would like get a better understanding of Irma.
all right. And then did you guys share out your resilience letter?
Yes.
You guys followed that already? Who did you write to, Diesel?
Rex,
Why Rex?
because he's not really giving his kids a strong backbone. Because I know that I look up to my dad. If my dad was like came home drunk and angry all the time, it wouldn't be fun.
Right, right. He needs that kind of pick me up letter. He needs some kind of shake up. I don't know if he'll ever get it, but kind of ugly. What about you, Kalukalani?
Same.
I didn't hear what you said.
Same. I wrote about Rex.
Oh, okay. And what about you, Kikama?
Well, I wrote about Rex too, and I wrote about like how, you know, the kids, they deserve to have like a stable home, like a permanent home, and have beds, sleep on a bed instead of like you should stop like coming home drunk, like what Diesel said.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I wrote about him.
I like that you use the word deserve. Like, kids deserve to have certain things, right? And that's why it's so important to be ready to have kids. You know what I mean? Okay, so you guys, okay, mahalo you guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop the breakout rooms and then we'll get out together, okay? Good job. Emily, how you doing?
Hi, good.
Good. Who did you write to?
Lori.
Lori. Why Lori? Very good. Not many people choose to write to Lori.
I chose to write to Lori because she was defending her siblings, even though she didn't do everything that she liked, but she knew that they were important.
Yeah. Try raise you guys' hand. How many of you guys gotta take care of other people, like other younger siblings or something like that? Yeah.
I'm home alone.
You're home alone.
Brother.
Yeah. Right. So some of
Good.
you guys have to be the Lori in your house. Right? That's a tough job. I mean, you gotta be a student, then you gotta be cafeteria lunch lady or lunch worker. You gotta be the custodian, right? I mean, it just is a lot for some of you guys to do. And as your teacher, I know that. And so that's why sometimes I gotta give you guys a little bit of grace, yeah? So in transitioning to that, you're gonna see this week that I have given you less things to do because I realized that I think I overloaded you guys. Not if that's a true statement. Yeah, ugly face, make ugly face like, yeah. You guys don't have ugly faces. You're like, I can't do an ugly face. Yeah. Okay, so as we go through this, I'm gonna show you guys today that I reduced the things that you have to do to only 2 assignments per week. Okay. But you still have Membi. So when I talk to you guys about kind of simplifying the tasks, I'm trying to make your lives easier, but that doesn't mean that you just do the work and then you're done. I expect you guys to raise the level of your work. Does that make sense to you? You're not gonna have too many different assignments, but I expect quality work. Okay. What else? I guess that's about it. So I'm going to apologize to all of you guys for loading it on last week. Okay. I know you have other classes and now we're moving on. I'll apologize when I'm wrong. I can do that. I'm a human. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our modules. What I want you guys to do is go into module 1.3. So we have module 1.3, all good. Okay. So if you guys click on section 4, that's your assignment for this week, right? You're going to be reading 50 more pages. So what I did was I gave you guys some visuals. This week, as you guys know, we're headed west, right? Or we headed west already. And we're in the town of Welsh. And Welsh is not the most beautiful town ever, right? It's a coal mining town. People work really hard. I don't know if you've ever seen shows that have a coal mining kind of storyline or whatever, but it's a hard way of life. A lot of grandfathers worked in the coal mill, then their sons work in the coal mill. Then if you're a son, you probably work in the coal mine as well. What happens to these miners is that they eventually get some kind of lung disease because they're inhaling all of that coal dust, right? And then they get the black lungs. They're not the most wealthy towns at all. In fact, if you look below the map, okay, go ahead and look below the map. I mean, that's an actual picture of Welsh, right? So you guys can totally Google it and check out what it looks like. There is 93 Hobart Street, which is where they used to live. As you can see, kind of a sad place to live. Okay. We did our bell work assignment. And then what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be answering questions in our workbook. So can you guys take that out and then turn to page 17. And this is me trying to reduce your work. Okay. So let's do this. As you guys answer these questions, I'm going to be looking for like you guys taking notes. So as you guys answer these questions, I would just write like page 161 and then just a little note to answer the question. Does that make sense? And then explain. Only notes, okay? We don't have to write incomplete sentences. I just want to see that you know where to find the answer. Okay, is that okay with you guys? Okay. And this is going to help guide you through this section, right? Let's see. I mean, we can already answer number 1. Let's do number 1 together, in fact. Okay, so when we look at number 1 on page 17 in your workbooks, we have in the beginning of Welsh, what foreshadowing clues indicate life there will be more difficult for the family, right? So we already read this section. So let's turn to page 130. Okay. Let's turn to page 130. Actually, I lied, 131. Okay. And then on the page 131, go down and look at, let's see. Yeah, just below that, we followed Irma and Stanley and Grandpa inside, right? It says what? It was cold in the house and the air smelled of mold and cigarettes and unwashed laundry, right? So let's just write down page 131 for number 1, right? Those details are already saying that they're kind of living in a mess already, right? Okay, as I continue reading, we huddled around a pot-bellied cast iron coal stove in the middle of the living room and held out our hands to warm them. Irma pulled a bottle of whiskey from the pocket of her house dress, and Dad looked happy for the first time since we left Phoenix. All right, so we already know that when there's alcohol in Rex Wall's life, things get chaotic. Things get abusive. Things are not good at all, okay? So what you would do is just add a little bit of notes, like just a little bit of explanation saying that these two details, what are they doing? They're already telling us that the kids are set up for disaster in Welsh, right? And so as you guys look at these questions, you're gonna go all the way to page 19. So if you flip the page, okay, you're gonna go all the way to number 8. Okay, question number 8. Can? Not too bad. These should be like real quick, like, okay, I'm gonna add on page whatever it is, and then just write a little note for it. You don't have to write incomplete sentences or anything. Okay, so it should really look kind of like this. If never mind. Just joking. You can't see that. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna move on. If you guys want to play Kahoot with your phone because it's faster to answer the questions, go ahead and get your phones ready. Okay, if not, if you don't have a phone, that's all good. Go ahead and start a new tab and we're gonna be playing Kahoot. Okay, just 10 questions. I'm gonna give extra credit to the top 3 winners. Your dad move. How did your dad stand? Yeah. Dad's old school. Likes to pump his fist. Okay, I also test this kid on me. Come on. Save it. Let's go. Head up. Oh, hold on. Come on. Get all players. Okay, now we can go. Ready. Ready. Very good. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo works too, guys. Sarah. Tasia. Where do they go after Battle Mountain?
Phoenix.
Right. To visit who?
Grandma Smith.
Grandma Smith.
I got kicked out of the game.
Who?
Maka.
Oh. Okay, answer with your eyes then. Just joking. I don't know how to let you in.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Oh. No picked Billy Goat? Who calls her mountain goat?
The dad.
Yes, the dad. Because
Who
he,
calls their child mountain goat?
Crazy Rex Walls does. Because she's his favorite, right? Woo, on fire. Maka, what would you press, girl?
False.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Okay,
Yeah,
why?
because they left because of the giant explosion thing, right? Right?
The BB gun
Maybe-
shootout, the shootout.
Gunfight.
Okay, never mind.
Remember? Remember the policeman was like, "You gotta come down to the court," and Rex Walls was like, "I'm not doing that. We're out of here," right? Hey, remember, he doesn't like the law, right? Because
I don't know.
paranoid.
Very much so.
Yes, thank you, Billy. Diesel, Diesel, get her. Okay, so this is in chronological order. What? Light, right? Small town outside of San Francisco. Then Battle Mountain, right? Then Phoenix. Then we're in Welsh. Some of you guys took a detour. Okay. Tasia, you on fire, girl. True, false? Ooh. Remember? And don't call me Grandma Irma. Just call me Irma. Okay, so the two that answered Jeanette, right? You would choose Jeanette because Jeanette's the one that found them, right? Yeah, but who saves Brian, right? What does Lori do? Let's see. Kayla, what does Lori do?
I am not sure.
Oh, okay. Phone a friend. Call somebody. Oh,
Emily.
oh.
They fight. Like,
Right? I've never really fought a day in my life, so I don't know what that looks like. Okay. All right. Yeah, Lori turns into Rocky Balboa and takes care of business, right? Super sad. That should never happen. Ooh! She's coming for you. Yeah, they have a place to live, but no, not even close. It's like when you think it can't get any worse, it gets worse, right? Ooh. Fifth grade, right? So these are her formative years, and she's it's really sad that she has to go through the years where she's gonna greatly remember, right? What happened in her childhood in Welsh. Brutal. Freshman, not yet. Dang. Tasia's pulling away. She's driving by. Oh. Okay. Tasia, can you please turn on your mic and explain why the parents did not believe their kids? That's one of the biggest questions, like why?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Just was wondering if anybody knew. Why would their parents not believe their own kids when they reported that their grandma did something gross to Brian? Damon, what about you? What do you think?
Maybe like how the kids act around the parents.
Yikes. This is brutal. I mean, when their own parents don't believe them, okay? This is a very heartbreaking moment in the book, okay? And they realize that they got to do something about it on their own, okay? So with that, I guess we gotta, oops, hang on. Oh, you too, you got kicked out? Bummers. Hang on. Oh, I stopped the share. But okay, so we have Diesel, Emily, and Tasia. Tasia got first place, but runner-up, I think, was Becca and that needs to stop. All right. And who's Fish Boy? Fishy Boy. Oh, duh. Okay. Okay, go back into your canvas, please. Okay, let's go to the next thing. So we're going to transition a little bit. So you have your reading assignment to do. Okay, you're going to hit up to page 205. This class, for the most part, is doing a pretty good job keeping up with the reading. Yeah? So what we're doing is we're writing our second memoir piece. And this second memoir piece is you guys figuring out what your glass castle is. Okay, it can be a place. It doesn't have to be. It can be something like their glass castle, like your future. Okay, so something that gives you hope. So I'll just go through the directions just real quickly, and then I'll give you an example, and then we'll get to our writing today. So it says Rex Walls is the main character in the glass castle, dreams of building a mansion for his family. Is he ever going to build this mansion? Yes or no? No? Kikama, you don't think so? All right. The children even have a say in their bedrooms, the layout, etc. The glass castle is not a real place, yet it provides an escape for the Walls family. Obviously, they need some kind of escape, right? It says, considering the homes and places they occupy, this escape is something that provides hope and strengthens the family bond. Okay. It says, where do you go to escape? All right, you guys all live in different places, different neighborhoods. Where is that place you go to escape? It can be some place from your past. It can be just the place you claim as your place to just relax and rejuvenate. Yeah. It says, consider the one place you can go and instantly relax. It might be part of your current home or your childhood home. It might even be a friend or relative's house. It might even just be outside. Like you might have a favorite tree you go sit under until you get eaten up by fire ants. So there could be a place, right? Your glass castle is the place and experience that gives you hope and strength. Okay, so start thinking about that. Start creating that list in your head. All right. Here's your assignment, and part of this assignment is going to be modified because we're not in class, obviously, together. So just really pay attention to the things that I'm going to take out, okay, or change. So first, you're going to think about an aspect of your current home or childhood home that provides an escape for you. You're going to be writing a one-page description of your glass castle. So we want to keep in mind the 5 senses, and then we're going to get into metaphoric thinking as well. Do not use cliches, boring or vague terms like, you know, this is my wonderland, or this is where my Jack and the Beanstalk place was. I don't know. I'm just giving you really lame examples. So I'm going to encourage you this time in your draft to edit, proofread, and then make sure it's good to go. Instead of like creating this poster board, you're gonna just grab some pictures and drop it in, just like how we did that first time, okay? But this whole poster board thing, just never mind that, okay? Because obviously we're not in class, so we're just gonna do this by dropping pictures in. So after you're done with the draft, you're going to go through the reminders. Okay, so if you guys look, include a strong hook. So how are you going to get the readers to be interested, to be curious, right? So as we all remember the beginning part of the Glass Castle, she gave us a hook, right? And we took it, right? We wanted to know why she was rich and her mom was dumpster diving, right? So make sure you include a strong hook, and I'll give you guys my example in just a bit. Do not become redundant. I mean, obviously, you know, we know why you like this place. So don't say I like or my favorite. Okay, watch for the repeating. I'm gonna go back up one because I skipped it. Let's use transitional phrases as we move through our Glass Castle. So these transitional phrases might be in the form of phrases that talk about place or phrases that talk about time, because you gotta move, right? So the transition should be at the beginning of each paragraph. Let's see, what else do we have here? I don't want you to be explicit. Explicit in meaning being obvious, being word for word as far as like, and this is why this is my glass castle. Like, give me examples. Bring in some metaphors. Okay? Tell me why. Okay, and then there's a rubric attached. You don't have to attach a rubric, obviously, but as we look at this, never mind the poster again, but just focus on these two things. Okay, so can you scroll down? Go ahead and scroll down to the rubric. So these are just some things to keep in mind. So everybody there on the rubric. Yeah, okay, so it says writing components. You're gonna address the prompt and you're gonna include the central idea, relevant facts and details and explanations as to your glass castle. What does that look like? You're gonna skillfully incorporate a variety of sentences. And what I've done is I've given you a video to watch to kind of go over what these sentence variations look like or can sound like. It's pretty straightforward. And then just your English language conventions, as I kind of glanced over your resilience letter, I noticed that there's a lot of mistakes like spelling errors. So let's make sure that you look at the spelling errors and also capitalizing proper nouns, please. Okay, so that's that. Hit the next button, please. Okay, so when you submit this, you only have basically 2 assignments. First assignment is to read and answer the questions, and then you have this memoir piece, right? So go ahead and open up your memoir collection 2020. Okay, go ahead and find that. Okay, and then I'm gonna share my screen so that we can all work on this together, okay? So have your screen side by side, no big deal. Okay, how's it going? Can you see my screen? Minus the grade, sorry about that. Okay, so as you guys remember, right, Grandma Nancy's lot, no more the house, but get the mailbox. There's Kit, the Night Rider. Okay, and then what we wanna do is we wanna start another page and then just title it A Glass Castle of My Own and then write the date in 1 September 2020. We gotta come up with our own title because A Glass Castle of My Own is not gonna work. Okay, so we don't know yet what you're going to write about, so just leave that blank for now. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with story time, so just go ahead, sit back and relax, and I'll just go and read you a story. Okay, so here we go. A veteran paddler once offered unsolicited advice. Can you hear me? Okay. The trick to the rudderless is just letting her go where she wants. Don't fight it. That's the thing with paddling. The topic is synonymous with life. Some people call her Hilo Bay, but the real people who know her call her Hilo One. If I could bottle up all of the blessings that Hilo One has offered me and heal the people who are really hurting inside, I would give all of them the gift of Hilo One. Don't get me wrong, Hilo One has also taken from me too. It took time away from being with the people that matter the most. It convinced me that the ocean was more important than the time I could have spent with my Grandma Nancy. See, the ocean is mesmerizing and persuaded me to believe the world of paddling canoe brought me joy. Clearly, paddling on the bay still brings me joy. It has opened my eyes. The moving in sync, in perfect timing, translates to feeling as if I am one with the world. Oh, you should see the endless pictures of my camera album. The pictures that have captured the definition of beauty. The way the light breaks through the clouds reminds me of the glory life has to offer. The way the sky can transition from the bluest blues to the darkest of gray clouds teaches me that they exist together. There are lessons all around. The secret to learning these lessons is that one has to be open to learning. Look up, be grateful. The way the weather and water conditions change within minutes has taught me about paying attention and the valuable lesson of when to turn around and head to shore. These lessons are metaphoric. Things in life shouldn't be forced. Paddling has taught me that. It has taught me to find the currents of life, and that sometimes, in fact, most times, patience will carry me farther. In the years of paddling, I know one thing is for sure. Paddling can heal people. Every year, new faces show up to the black sand of Hilo One. They all show up with the same look of uncertainty as they dig their toes in the sand and try to remain invisible at the beginning of their first practice. The story of these new faces are all the same. They come down to the famous waters of Hilo One to rinse off their past. And by the end of the season, their story comes out. A divorce, a void to fill, or some kind of change are the story that have compelled them to show up at the beach to paddle. Paddling is not for the weak. Hands rip and bleed, along with other parts of the body that sit on the seat of the canoe. If the coach tells you to do one more sprint, you do it. And you paddle the hardest during that last sprint, because we all know that we all must finish strong. Paddling is not for the ones who sway in the wind. A paddler's feet must be firmly planted in the ground, along with the values that have raised you. After all, paddling is not just a sport, as the past has held on to the mo'olelo of your ancestors. Paddling was born out of necessity, to win wars, to conquer, and to survive. I have crossed the Kaiwi Channel 4 times, 42 miles of smiles, as they say. I crossed the channel each time because in the past, the powers that be said women could not paddle the 42 miles. They said it was too dangerous. The evidence of women being tough is in their daily survival. Just watch them live another day in the 365 days of the year. Don't tell me they can't cross a silly channel. The challenges of having 10 committed women cross a channel is immense. Women have things to do. They take care of kids, their families, and lastly, themselves. The hours of training it takes to complete the Navahine is nuts. 2 to 4 hours a day of practice 4 times a week, and training with a full day of work leaves little time for anything else. And yet we make it happen. We run and lift before practice, followed by a 2-hour practice. If you ever need to find me in the summertime, I am at Hilo One. This calls for a small miracle. Our crew has placed in the top 10 during the last 2 years, and we have paid the price in more ways than just earning a respectable place at the finish line at Waikiki. Sometimes I wonder if it was all worth it. Hilo One has been my glass castle for the last 13 years. Although I don't have the same stories of healing that some of the other women have, I have carried the lessons of life that the ocean has instilled within me. Even though I sacrificed many hours on the water, only to look back at what I should have been doing, the smile and amazement my grandma had when I showed her pictures and videos of paddling are all worth it. Many times when I look up while paddling in Hilo One, a white manu flies over. I just know it's my grandma. She lets me know that I am safe and encourages me when I am having a tough day. Hilo One is my glass castle. Okay, so if you look at the last sentence, okay, you're probably gonna have to change that because it's too explicit. And that's what I mean by being explicit. Like, no, we already know it's my glass castle, right? So how do you say that in a better way, right? So we gotta think of synonyms for glass castle. So let's do this. Oh, you wanna see pictures? This is what my camera roll looks like. Are you guys frozen? No. Okay, you guys good? You're unfrozen now. Okay. And then this is one of the days. Okay, so can you see that? I have a group of paddling buddies that I go with. Okay, but if you've ever seen the bay, it looks different all the time. Okay. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do is, you have your notebooks, you guys ready? We're gonna just start our writing process, okay? So go ahead and get your tablets out, and then we're going to start with this, okay? So go ahead and title it Glass Castle of My Own Pre-Writing Activity. Anybody paddle canoe in this class? No, I don't have not one paddler in this classroom.
Think you know about it.
Yeah? Who is going to paddle this year? Nobody? Maka? No. What about you, Becca? No. You guys look like strong girls. What about Diesel? What about you? Use those football muscles. No? Okay. Nai, not you. No, you don't like the water. Come on. All right, so go ahead. Let's go ahead and create a list of possible places. So if you guys look, these are my three. You don't have to have three, maybe two, because you know, selective and picky. So don't copy down what I'm writing, write your own. So create a list of possible places that could be your glass castle. I mean, it can even be the past, right? Or maybe it can even be the future. It doesn't have to be an actual place. As you guys know, the glass castle is not for real. Okay, so in your notebooks, you're brainstorming some places, and then after you write down where, just give a quick why. Just write a little phrase of why. And once you're done, just go ahead and just choose one for now. You can always change after we're done with this pre-writing activity. If this pre-writing activity is too hard, then maybe you have to change your place. Okay, so this is just like preliminary. Let's just try it out. Okay, everybody have a place. Ooh, almost time for a snack, I think. Okay, everybody got their place? Can I get a thumbs up? Just real quick, Tail, where's your place that you're choosing right now?
Ama Ulu soccer field.
Oh, yes. Oh, scored a lot of goals on that place. Yep. Oh, that's awesome. Perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, so now below that, what I want you to do is create this kind of this big chart. So use the rest of your page to like make this chart, okay? And you're gonna be filling in the blank. So obviously you're not gonna be writing in hilo one is a blank, okay? So just, we're going to practice metaphoric thinking. I need you guys to elevate your writing, okay? Not everything has to be straightforward. In fact, please don't, you're gonna kill me, all right? That was metaphoric. In fact, that was a hyperbole, so I don't expect you guys to, I mean, don't bore me to death. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. Okay, so here we go. What you want to do is put in the place you chose on the first blank. So for me, it was like hilo one. So the first part, top left-hand corner, you got to think about a person or characteristics of a person. So hilo one is a teacher. And then I'm going to say the reason why. Because why? She has taught me so much about life, right? So choose something. Don't choose teacher. Choose something else, right? Eh, Anela, no copy mia. Okay, you guys good? Kayla, could you share your example with the class?
So I take Kunia in Oahu, and I put Kunia is a role model because she has taught me most of my childhood.
Where is
Like
this
that.
place?
It's in Oahu. It's where I kind of grew up.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So she's your role model because it sounds like you have to kind of search for that last part. So just kind of jot down some notes. Yeah. So as long as you have the first part, the because will come. Okay, so don't worry about that. All right, everybody good? We can move on. Okay. The next one is like weather. So it can be anything related to weather, right? So for me, when I did this, you notice that in my my draft, I talked about the bluest blues, right? So like the blue skies that also exist with the darkest gray clouds you've ever seen, right? And so that's what I would say. Hilo one is a what, right? So I would say is the blue sky and the gray clouds. What? Because why? Because it teaches that there is a yin to the yang, right? That there is good and bad, there is beautiful and ugly, and they both get to exist in the same place. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's where the metaphoric thinking comes into play. Now, what does that mean for a life lesson, right? I mean, many things, right? That there's a balance, that not everything can be beautiful. Sometimes you got to accept the ugly with the beautiful, the yin to the yang, right? So for you guys, think about the because has to be real. The because has to be authentic. If you can't find that because, then put that on the side and think about it, okay? Next one. Do you need more time? Am I rushing you guys? It's okay, I can rush you guys. Just joking. All right. So the next part is idea. So when we're talking about an idea, we're talking about a concept or something that you cannot touch. So that's what an abstract noun is, right? An abstract noun is something that's more within you. It's more a mindset. It's more of something that is not a concrete noun. And so for me, hilo one is a what? Is the toughness, right? Is the toughness of life, right? Because why? Right? Because that's where, you know, I've ripped my hands, they've been bleeding, and you still go harder, right? Something like that, right? What is it for you, right? Emily, where's your place?
My dreams.
Awesome. Ooh, so you're gonna add another idea to your idea. So what would that be? My dreams is what? What did you tie that with?
I put an escape to what's real.
Ooh, so it's like a portal, yeah? It's like a, nice, okay. Very good. And that might lead us into the fourth box, okay? And the fourth box, I don't know, maybe you can put something fun if you're trying to be funny at one point, or a thing, right? Or it could just be an open choice for some of you if you want to connect it to something like your favorite something, right? So I saw, Kikama, you have a dog. Cute. I have 2 dogs, but they don't like me, I think. Unless I feed them. So there's that. Or if I take them walking. Oh, boy. Right, so what would that thing be, right? So hilo one. I don't like candy, but I like hard candy. If that makes sense. Like I don't like chocolate candy. So I would say that hilo one is a bag of Jolly Ranchers because why, right? It's always something different, right? And it's the sweetness of my life. Boom. And so when you guys think of the because, this metaphoric thinking is something I want you to work into your metaphor, into your memoir. Okay. All right. How are we doing? We good? Yes, no? You guys good? This thing that you're doing right now in your tablet, you might have to go back to it. You might have to just sit on it for a bit and then take some more notes. You might have to go walk around after during lunch and then kind of figure it out and then come back to it. Okay, so that's what good writing is. You might start your memoir and then say, you know what, I don't like how it's sounding. So then you have to start, or you have to start all over again. It just depends. So you have to give yourself some grace here. All right, next, let's go back to our modules. Okay, so what we did was, this is the last part of this week's modules. Before you submit your draft, okay, there's this cute little video that I've been 5 different sentence variations. So go ahead and turn the page. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. We're gonna set up your notes. So go ahead and write down at the top of your notes, title it sentence variation or sentence variety, up to you how you wanna say this. Okay, there's gonna be 5 different ways. So I want you to number your page going down 1 through 5, and I want you to skip about 3 lines per after each number. Okay, so let's set up. You're gonna learn about 5 different ways to vary your sentences. What I don't wanna see is subject, predicate, subject, predicate, subject, predicate over and over again. So that sentence pattern is the most basic sentence pattern. What I'm hoping you do is you add different clauses in there. Okay, what I'm hoping you'll do is maybe you start with since blah, 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 comma, then subject, predicate. You guys know what I'm talking about, yeah? Kind of. Oh no, my internet connection is unstable. Story of my life. Okay, so you guys are gonna watch this video. It's 4 minutes, less than 5 minutes long. That I need you to do this before you submit your draft because I want you to go back and rework some of your sentences. Can? At the top of your notes, write down, add membean words to this week's memoir. Add some membean words. How many membean words do you think you could add? Show me with your fingers. Good, okay. 9. That's great. 3 to 4, maybe. If you use too many Membing words, then it doesn't really sound like your voice. So use them strategically. Okay, don't be changing the way you sound. All right. But also we want to, incorporate some words. Anyway, I think we're good. Oh, we finished early. Guess what you guys can do? Say it. Say the M word. Say it. Okay. All right. So let's have everybody get onto your Membing. We're going to take care of business right now and do one session since you have 15 minutes left. Okay. And then you can go to lunch. Okay. You guys good? Everybody on Membing. Don't pretend. Don't fake it like, oh yeah, I'm on Membing. Okay. Let's do a Membing session right now. So let's try to do this. We usually meet on Wednesdays, right? Let's do one Membing session Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Friday, and then you pow. Okay, Cam? Let's take care of business. Don't turn in your stuff late. Your things are due before the next class. Okay? All of your assignments are due before the next class. So I need you guys to really manage your time. Okay. Email me tomorrow. If you need to meet up with me, just email me and we'll Zoom. Okay? Can? Okay, do one session of Membing and then go eat some lunch. Okay? Bye, you guys. Take care.